So much shit happened in sports this week, yo. So much shit. Like, I was making episodes and then I'd be like, I forgot to put that in it. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Shit's crazy. Sports world don't stop moving. Super Bowl is today. It's today. This shit gonna be up. This episode gonna be up. I promise you. This shit is gonna be up before the Super Bowl start. Cause I'm gonna do an episode as soon as the Super Bowl over. Still haven't decided what Super Bowl party I'm going to. I haven't even been invited to as many this year. I guess motherfuckers started realizing, yo, I'm not gonna keep inviting a motherfucker who don't never take me up on the invitation. So a couple of them invites that I usually get got cut short this year. They say, yo, we're not wasting the time. We're not wasting the text. We're not wasting the breath. And honestly, I dig that. I don't even take that shit personal. Because I know people who, are anti-socialists, right? They don't really like being bothered and shit. But if you don't invite them to something, even though people know they're not coming if you invite them, I know people like that who will get mad that you don't invite them, even though they would never accept the invitation anyways. They just gonna get mad because they gonna be like, man, it was the thought. I'm like, nah, you could think to yourself, I'm not gonna waste my time sending this man something he ain't gonna do, and I respect that. Trust me, you ain't gonna get no hate coming my way for that. Not to mention, I don't even participate in Super Bowl parties no more. As far as like, when I go to Super Bowl parties, I'm legit there to watch the Super Bowl. Now, a lot of the Super Bowl parties that I went to the last couple years, one of the things that I have to do there that really irritates me is passing around multiple blunts and shit. And it's bound to be like 2 or 3 people there who passing around, who rolling up blunts that's got like trash can weed in it. But you put so many in rotation, you never know. But I always know whose blunt is who, bro. You got motherfuckers who used to smoking bad weed, hogging all the people who rolled up the good weed, taking extra hits of those people's blunts. Got motherfuckers letting it. And please, if you somebody like me who only smoke leaves, like you do not smoke cigarillos, you refuse to smoke cigarillos like me. Cause I know some people out there who probably, who gonna be like, man, I smoke anything. All right, cool for you. Because I do know people who will just smoke it. They'll be smoking leaves, coughing, choking, spitting everywhere, talking about, oh, this hard, this hit too rough. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to hit it. But then you do got them motherfuckers who actually do hit leaves and hit everything else, and them be the ones who bring the bad weed and end up hogging everybody else's good blunt. So I'm gonna tell you what I do in these type of situations, what I learned to do in these type of situations. Because if you're not careful, you can be one of those inexperienced motherfuckers who end up running through all your weed trying to get high because so many heads hitting it. That's what I do. I always get high before I go to any party. That's for one. 2, when people start rolling up and wanting me to roll up, I roll up and I just dump the blunt off there. I don't hit it or nothing. No matter of fact, I hit it, I get it started, and then I just dump it off in the abyss. Anybody who hit it after that, that's on them. I do not hit other people's blunts. For one, if you roll, if it's like a lot of blunts going around and I'm seeing like a bunch of cigarillos, like I'm not hitting none of them. I'm not hitting none of your swishes. I'm not hitting none of your games. If it's not a leaf, I'm not hitting it. 2, I'm not hitting no skinnies, like no tight blunts. Like if it's hella skinny and real tight, you good. I'm gonna pass on that. And the way I see it is, I'm just letting y'all get all that. Y'all get high off all that trash. And not even off all that trash. Y'all get high off all that ridiculousness. Like, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go to my car at halftime, roll up, sit in there, smoke half of that blunt, get good and tidy, and come back in for halftime. I mean, for the rest of the half. You know what I'm saying? I don't even play these games no more when it comes to that. I'm not finna run through my whole pack of weed. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna roll through. I'm not even gonna waste an eighth. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna get a good old fat blunt roll, hit a couple times, boom, 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 dump it off in the abyss. Y'all have at it. There's my contribution. I don't even need to participate in all the other nonsense. Now, if it's somebody there who I know for a fact is a phenomenal roller, then yeah, I'll probably. But see, a lot of me and my homies, like me and my real home smokers, like me and my homies that really smoke, we'll probably try to dip off in a corner or something anyways. Usually we'll go to somebody's car, mine's, theirs, whoever's, and we'll just have a real smoke session there with like one or two heads. And then you'll always have that one person who you just won't get off of your ass, who they know deep down, like they know like these motherfuckers is about to dip because they've been watching your moves the whole time. So you can't, like, you want to lie to them, but you don't really care enough to lie to them. Plus you already know that the motherfucker know what you finna do, so you just like, man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to add that extra head. And you just like, man, you better not tell nobody, bro. Then the motherfucker come back acting all crazy. And then motherfuckers like, man, y'all didn't take me with you. Man, it's like 4, 5, 6, 7 blunts going around in here, man. Y'all have at that, man. Y'all good. Y'all didn't miss out on nothing, man. I just got done watching the Israel Adesanya pay-per-view, him and Whittaker Part 2, and, you know, disappointing pay-per-view for me for a couple reasons. Obviously, I love the UFC. Well, I don't love the UFC as much as I love the mixed martial arts. But, I mean, this pay-per-view was really exactly what I thought I was going to see. Israel Adesanya, I mean, I guess the fight between him and Whittaker was a good fight, but, I mean, it was exactly what I expected it was going to be. Israel Adesanya is just so far and away better than everybody in his division, and I don't think that's because of how great he truly is. I just think it's the people in his division just not that great, in my opinion. Like listen, I'm a rough critic because I grew up in an era of UFC where it was a lot of animals in the UFC, bro. Like everywhere you looked, there was animals, and so I just don't think Israel. I'm not diminishing Israel's accomplishments. You got to beat who in front of you. But the competition, like Robert Whittaker was relying so heavily on that left hand, you know, like his offense is so basic, like it's one dimensional. That's not me taking a shot at him, but I mean his offense is one dimensional. The best parts of his offense don't really fly great against a fighter like Israel Adesanya. And then you see how some of these dudes in the division is wrestlers, but none of them is really great wrestlers. Like none of them is Usman or Kobe Covington style wrestlers, John Jones level wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Like none of those dudes in this division is great wrestlers. So that's why none of them can get Izzy to the ground and keep him on the ground and beat him on the ground. Because if Izzy went up against somebody who was a legitimate, like, all-world wrestler, I truly believe that would probably be Izzy's toughest fight. Because Izzy is atrocious on the ground when he have to go up against dudes who great on the ground, but Izzy don't go up against dudes that's great on the ground. He go up against dudes who are decent wrestlers at this point. Because I couldn't imagine what Izzy would end up doing if he had to go up against a wrestler like a Kobe Covington or Usman, which he wouldn't do, but I just don't know what would happen if that was, you know what I'm saying? And then I really would like to see Izzy fight against somebody like a Masvidal. Like, because he go up against a lot of strikers, right? None of the strikers he done went up against, in my opinion, is on the level of a Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal know how to finish motherfuckers off. You know what I'm saying? He constantly looking for that knockout blow. He not trying to, you know, dink you, dunk. He not trying to body shot you to. Nah, he trying to finish you at all times. Like, he bring a different type of energy when he in there. Now, I don't know if that would ever happen, if those two would ever, because they're not in the same weight class right now. But to me, it's just Marvin Vettori, Paul Acosta, what's my man's name? He just fought Whittaker. They all good fighters. And if you keep putting them against each other, who knows how that would turn out. Probably would be great television. You keep putting them against Izzy, I just don't think that's going to turn out too great. Izzy is just a far superior mixed martial artist. Like Michael Bisping said it throughout the fight. Look at how many different ways Izzy come at you with attacks. Like, look at how many different ways he can attack you. Whereas Whittaker got the same type of strike, the same type of way he coming at you every time. And that was just like Marvin Vettori, who did a bunch of air boxing. Paul Acosta just got his ass whooped throughout the entire fight because he lost his lead leg early. Like, it's just, and you don't really remember any of the other fights. Obviously, I remember him beating what's my man's name? Whittaker again the first time. I don't know why I keep forgetting Whittaker, and he was the one who fought tonight. But I'm imagining that his next fight will be Jared Cannonier, since that's who won tonight. He beat Bronson. Had a nice little promo at the end of the fight. Got him with a nice little backhand. Got on top of him, finished him with some elbows. I guess he'll get the next fight, but honestly, when I'm looking at some of these dudes who, I'm just interested to see how the fight go. Right now, the type of person that's gonna beat Izzy, I haven't seen in that division yet. I just haven't. So I'm interested to see how that fight go, but I just don't. Izzy done cleaned out that division, and I don't really think it's because of how dominant Izzy is as much as it is. Izzy is great, but I've seen champions. I done seen dudes who ain't champions in other divisions who I think are as great as Izzy. And that's not really a shot at Izzy, even though it sounds like a shot at Izzy. I just don't know if I done seen Izzy be truly tested yet because of how bad his division is. Izzy lost to Juan Blachowicz, who is bigger than him, but Juan Blachowicz wasn't even a great champion. He could have beat Juan Blachowicz. That's how Jan decided late in that fight to start taking the motherfucker down and couldn't do shit when he got him down. Shit was disgusting, really. Just laying on them and shit the whole time, so I just think it's a lack of competition in that division, man. I just think the dump off from Izzy to everybody else is just massive. Whereas you look at Colby Covington, I don't think he better than Usman, but he ain't a shit. He ain't light years behind him. Now I do think that now that's the pay-per-view I can't wait to get here. Colby Covington taking on Masvidal. I can't wait for that shit to happen. But the other fight that happened tonight was Derek Lewis fought, and I can't think of this dude's name, but I know his nickname is Bam Bam. Derek Lewis lost, and I knew he was gonna lose this fight, and it's sad because I saw him coming out kind of tentative. It looked like to me. When you fighting in your hometown, you expect to come out, the dude who fighting in his hometown, to come out like electric. You know what I'm saying? Like lighting the shit up. Derek Lewis just came out real stoic like. So I was like, other dude came out real hype. He came out to Cyndi Lauper, girls just want to have fun and shit, had everybody smiling and hype. I'm like, yeah, this dude might win this. Just because I knew the type of two fighters these two dudes was. And the thing is, Derek Lewis fought a good fight early, I think. I didn't think he looked bad or nothing like that. But, maybe it's just because I think Derek Lewis might be a little too old at this moment, where the hits that he gave Bam Bam usually would have knocked the dude out, but tonight it didn't. I was looking at Derek, and I know he took this loss real hard because he done lost in his own hometown twice. Maybe he got to step away for a while, refresh, take some time away from the game, and just explore the options of what's next. Do I really want to keep doing this? You know what I'm saying? And I feel the same way about Robert Whittaker, because when you get to the top like this, and Robert Whittaker, a dude who already stepped away once, do you really go through the process of trying to get back to the top again to fight Izzy for a third time? So very interesting to see where these two dudes go after tonight. But Friday night, watched fucking SmackDown. And I watched the beginning of the show. I was watching the beginning of the show. I'm not going to talk about the whole show, though. Yo, Charlotte and Naomi. What a fucking match, yo. What a fucking match. Now, the end was kind of weird how they was, I don't really know what the end was, that thing at the end, but I like how, the little pause at the end. I like how, Charlotte won with the natural selection, though. The natural selection kind of getting built kind of like the F5 and moves like that, Except for obviously when Brock Lesnar have a big time main event with somebody where he throw out 16 F5s before somebody lose. Other than that, you got these moves that when somebody get hit with them, usually it's a 1, 2, 3. And I saw people on Twitter saying Naomi hit her finisher multiple times, all her finishers. Yo, For one, have you never played a WWE game? Like, bro, I'm just trying to tell you right now, I'm the worst dude to play at WWE because I will jump out multiple finishers, for one. Two, you're not going to beat me with no signature. The only way you beating me with a finisher is if it's one of those glitch type situations where the bar is actually glitching. That's it. Or if you get lucky, one of them chances where I just happen to miss one of them shoots. Like, you know when the bar is like hella upwards and when it start to go down and hit that quick shoot. So if you don't hit it almost immediately, you're going to miss it because of how far up the bar to hit is. That's the only way you're going to get me down for the 3. And a submission possibly, because I like the submission mechanics. How the more tired you get, basically, if you facing somebody like me who's just great with jumping out of pins, you got to basically get a limb like gray. That's the color past red, I believe. It's either gray or purple. You get it past red, and then you got to lock in a submission. Because then it's like an automatic tap out. It don't matter how good the opponent is. I like that new mechanic. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like that in this new WWE 2K, but, you know. We shall see, especially with the one with Roman Reigns being on the front of it, him and Becky. That shit was garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. Bro, you know that's a garbage game when motherfuckers say, you know what, for the next 2 years until they make the next game, which was like a 2 or 3 year span, 2.5 years possibly, motherfuckers are just content playing 2K 18 and 19, bro, which were far superior games to 20. And that bullshit they put out after that. But unbelievable match by Charlotte and Naomi. I was watching this match thinking to myself, nah, no, I'm a big Charlotte fan. I love Naomi too. I'm a big Naomi fan. I was watching this match thinking to myself, this is exactly why Charlotte is better than Becky. And I know some motherfuckers will be like, oh, rent free. I mean, I guess. But I was watching this match thinking this is exactly why Ronda Rousey picked Charlotte. Like, this is the potential that a Ronda... Now, granted, I don't have that type of expectation for Ronda because Naomi is a seasoned fucking vet. Like, Naomi, you can disrespect Naomi or whatever you want, but Naomi can go in the ring. Like, I'm not stupid. I know how great of an in-ring competitor Naomi is. So when you see her and Charlotte have a match like this... And I thought to myself, when they had that stipulation put in the beginning of the, I'm talking so fast, I'm saying shit that's not real words. In the beginning of the show, when Vince hit Adam Pearce on the celly with the text message saying, yo, Sonya, your motherfucking ass better not touch Naomi in the match tonight. Naomi came out, slapped up real good, looked like a big dog standing over. I said to myself, yo, if they're going to give Sonya and Naomi, if they're going to give Naomi and Charlotte time, like, this could be a great match. Like, I thought that, but I wasn't for sure yet because I know it's a lot of shenanigans and shit that could happen. So I didn't know where to set my expectations at. You know, I didn't know if this was going to be a quick match with Ronda coming out. I didn't know if this was going to be what I knew it wasn't going to be was one of them situations where Ronda cost Charlotte the championship. That would make absolutely no fucking sense. Like, even in wrestling terms, because Ronda, even if you would say, oh, they would just give Charlotte like a little booking to go on a little run to get the title back before Mania, but that would take away from Ronda Charlotte, and that would put the focus on Naomi. And while that's not bad, unless you adding her into the match at Mania, it would be no purpose of putting that title on her, as, you know, even though you could say, oh, well, fulfill a story need. Yeah, it will fulfill a story need, but that's unnecessary story need because the main focus for that the title should not be playing hot potato. That's the prize. That's the diamond. You know what I'm saying? That's what we fighting for. So that shouldn't be playing hot potato on people. I don't like that. But when the match came and they actually got time, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what the fuck I expected. Like, and I literally thought to myself, before the fans was even chanting, like, this is awesome and shit, I'm literally watching this match thinking to myself, like, yo, this is a fucking another classic. Like, Charlotte gives us another classic. Like, you can legit put anybody in the ring with her, and if you give her time with anybody, they're going to give us a classic. Like, It's ridiculous how great she is in the ring. And everybody, I saw people kept saying like, oh, her and Naomi have phenomenal chemistry and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I agree with that. But I just think it's her and Naomi are phenomenal wrestlers. I just think that's what it is. Like, and Naomi, the only reason Naomi don't got a shit ton of classics, because that's the only reason I said, oh, another classic by Charlotte, is because Charlotte has a ton of classics at this point. But this is a classic for Naomi. Naomi going to be able to put this on her highlight reel when she retired, because this was a great match, especially some of them transitions at the end, bro. Like, Charlotte probably took that Naomi's rear view better than I've seen most people take the rear view, the transition into it. Like, just, bro, the chemistry, the wrestling skills, the in-ring, every part of this match was phenomenal to me. This was probably the match of the year so far, if I had to be honest with you. And what's so crazy to me is, if you, like, after Naomi just have a match like this, how can you not give her, like, great booking? Like, give her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like after Naomi have a match like this, you gotta give her something good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just send her back into the abyss after this type of match. Like, if you send her back into the abyss after this type of match, that shit would be wild to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. That would be wild. Because her and Charlotte just tore it down. And so, and listen, from some of the reports that I be reading, you know, everybody like, oh, Charlotte loves Naomi, and Charlotte loved Bianca and whatnot. Seeing Charlotte fight Naomi, had this wrestling match with Naomi, and the things that, this is why I really love Charlotte, because, see, as great as Charlotte's gimmick is, I know Charlotte's going to deliver in the ring. That's the beauty of that's why I'm so obsessed with watching Charlotte matches, bro, because anytime they give Charlotte time, I know she's going, regardless of the outcome, I know if she gets time, it's going to be a great match. She's going to carry the match. And she damn sure going to carry her part of the match. My problem with Becky is sometimes it's just character over actual ability in the ring. Her matches fall flat. She don't really do too much in the match to make it great. It's a good match at times, never really great. Never something that really requires or deserves a this is awesome chant. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte get into some of these matches and her and Naomi just tear the fucking house down and show you why they deserve the main event Friday night. Like, that was a main event for a pay-per-view. And WWE knew they was going to tear the house down. Like, Vince knew that was going to be a great match. He not retarded. He knew how great Naomi was in ring. And when you have somebody like Charlotte, because it's not necessarily that Charlotte is better in ring than everybody else. Because I think Charlotte is unbelievable in ring, but I think Bianca is unbelievable in ring. I think Naomi, when she in her groove and she constantly being used, she's unbelievable in ring. I think Bayley is unbelievable in ring. Sasha is unbelievable in ring. Asuka is unbelievable in ring. Now, my only problem with Asuka is sometimes Asuka matches get kind of they get repetitive. Like, that's probably my biggest problem with Daniel Bryan. Like, I don't like watching Daniel Bryan fight, because I feel like if you see one Daniel Bryan fight, you done seen every single Daniel Bryan fight. And nobody gonna ever want to admit that. But wrestlers do have their little comeback sets and shit like that. And because most Daniel Bryan fights is him fighting from behind, basically, it feel like every Daniel Bryan fight I done seen was the same. Now, I know some people gonna be like, well, that's WWE's fault. It may be so, but I don't get that same feeling when I'm watching Sasha Banks. To me, I'm watching Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley, Seth, Roman. Bro, when I watch, and I want to specifically zone in on Sasha. One of my favorite parts about watching Sasha is, to me, when I watch Sasha, every Sasha match is not the same match. In the beginning of her career, I'm talking about Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley. In the beginning of their careers, It felt like a lot. They were great, but some of their matches kept feeling the same. Like it ended the same type of things. I don't have a problem with people having the same move sets, like doing their same moves and shit. But it felt like they didn't really diversify it up. All the matches started to feel like they was scripted and on a set thing. Like you knew exactly what was gonna happen when it was gonna happen. At some point in time, like a couple years ago, Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley just said fuck it. And every match, when they got time, started to look different. But every single one of them was great. Unless it was a match that was like heavily based in story, that was like, this match is not for specifically for wrestling, but more for storytelling, to progress a story. When they had a wrestling match that was specifically, let's have a fucking wrestling match. Fuck the story for a second. The story gonna be important and whatnot, but this is a wrestling match, a part of this story. When they had those, at some point in time, bro, it just feel like Sasha, Charlotte, Seth too, really, but I'm giving love to the women. Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley just said fuck it, and every match they started to put on was a banger, and they all looked different. None of them looked the same, and they was all bangers, and that's what made me fall so in love with watching those three wrestle. But Charlotte's, it was her character and her consistency and just knowing that, and you gotta remember, I didn't know who the fuck Charlotte was when she first stepped in. So her being Ric Flair's daughter didn't mean shit to me. And as much as I like Ric Flair, he ain't I know he on a lot of people's Mount Rushmores, not on mine. I could get through a ton of wrestlers before Ric Flair would come to my Mount Rushmore wrestlers. And that's just how it is for certain people. So everybody got their taste and their flavor when it comes to wrestlers and their favorites. And that's not me disrespecting Ric Flair. Like I said, I like Ric Flair. But Ric Flair, is being the father of Charlotte, had absolutely nothing to do with me liking Charlotte. Because like I said, didn't know that she was Ric Flair's daughter when she first came in. I don't watch Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, Steph, all these, all of them basically grow since they got to the main roster ever since. And just to me, Naomi also, because I actually saw Naomi in NXT. When Naomi first came in, she was the athletic one in NXT. So I actually not seen Naomi since NXT. But I just think all of those, seeing them and seeing, like, because sometimes Naomi get into this thing where a lot of her matches start to look the same. But I don't think that's Naomi's fault. I think a lot of times Naomi get put in matches that's not really there for really, she don't get the time. She don't get good opponents sometimes. And clearly, if you give her somebody who can go, like a Charlotte, look at the type of match she can have. I guarantee you Naomi can put on a classic with Sasha and with Bayley and with Asuka. You just got to give her the time. She could put on another classic. See, now, one of the things I'm kind of interested in is because I'm almost certain they're going to have a tag team match at the next pay-per-view at the Elimination Chamber. Charlotte and Sonya taking on Naomi and Ronda, and that could be a great match, but expectations, that'll probably be the story match rather than the wrestling match. Like, that one will probably have the shenanigans and all that other type of stuff. The match we saw Friday, that was the wrestling match. Mind you, bro, Charlotte looks fucking great right now. You can tell Charlotte is in her prime. Like, bro, she is cut the fuck up. Like, Charlotte absolutely looks phenomenal right now. Like, absolutely phenomenal. Like, I can tell when an athlete is in their absolute prime. Like, we talk about how Roman Reigns is in his prime right now. Charlotte Flair is in her prime right now. And I'm just not going to let that go unnoticed. As much as you know how much I love Roman Reigns. That is my tribal chief, the head of all tables. I told you, I don't even sit at the table. But I keep a chair out at the top of every table in my house just in case he ever stopped by. You understand? But Charlotte, bro, she is in her prime, and she is fucking kicking ass right now. And I just don't think she's getting enough credit for it. People like to hate, and I think Charlotte, one of them people who people give credit to after she retired. Not me. I give people their roses while they're going because I know what I'm seeing, which is why I'm so pressed to see Charlotte v. Bianca. Seeing Charlotte v. Naomi just gave me so much hope because as unbelievably great as I think Naomi is, Bianca just a little tick better. Just a little, and I hate comparing because I don't want to shit on one, wrestler to uphold another. So matter of fact, I'm not even gonna do that. Because all of these, especially if you gave them the time and put them in a great, because Naomi, what I would really love for Naomi is a character rebirth. Like the glow and all that shit, that was cool. And it's been cool while it's lasted, but I really wish we could flip Naomi's character to give her a career resurgence like we gave Becky, like we gave Bayley. Because the only two women out of the horsewomen that really never needed a career resurgence is Charlotte and Sasha. Even though both of them went through career lows at one point in time where it felt like they really was having rough career years, they really never needed, like, for one, Sasha's character is just heel, face, you never know. But she always been phenomenal in ring. So they even had Charlotte on that bullshit when she was a face. So all of them had bad booking at one point in time. I would even say Bayley probably was the most consistently booked as far as, like, when she was a baby face, she was booked pretty much good, decently. She took off now when she became a heel. Like, the Bayley heel turn was just ungodly. Like, that was God. Matter of fact, I'll use the word, that was God levels. That was unreal. Like, to me, you got the Roman heel turn God level. Bayley right under that. Bayley's heel turn right under that. Like, heel turns that just absolutely saved and routed a career. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, you're like, Bayley, I can't wait till Bayley get back. But that's what I think Naomi need. If they gave Naomi the time, the actual effort, Naomi could take off too. Like, I done probably grown a little bit tired of Naomi's. I don't think Naomi bad on the mic. I just think her baby face might work. I'm a little bit tired of it. I think she would absolutely kill as a heel. Because for one, one of the reasons I'm a little bit tired of, because the best baby face in the business right now as far as women's wrestlers is Bianca, and it's not even close. And so I really don't. This is a division where, and plus, you don't even have to make her heel, like truly a heel, as much as you could give her more attitude and swagger. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we can rebrand her. I'm not saying tone down like all the colorfulness and shit like that, but like we can give her something else besides, just glow. Like, we can give her an actual personality, give her reasons to be fighting and shit like that. Like, because Naomi is phenomenal in the ring, and I just don't understand why we wasting her. Plus, the problem with Naomi is character. Her character has no direction, because her character doesn't really have a personality or nothing like that. It's just a happy-go-lucky, glow-up character type shit. And so I think that's the problem with Naomi's character, and we're wasting that character. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done said before, when you look at dudes like wrestlers like the flippy wrestlers, the acrobatics and shit like that, like, it's 1,000 of those. Who my dude I used to use all the time? Mustafa Ali. I still believe that. It's 1,000 Mustafa Alis in the WWE and in wrestling. What make them so much different? I don't think that about Naomi. Naomi not just a flippy character or nothing like that. I think Naomi is a legitimate, phenomenal wrestler in the ring. And see, that's the difference between me and some people. I don't look at Mustafa Ali and think to myself, man, that is an unbelievable wrestler. I think to myself, he do a lot of flips and shit. I done seen this before. You know what I'm saying? Story-wise and shit like that, it's bro. we just got different tastes. This is what's gonna have to be. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who like Mustafa Ali, but Charlotte and Naomi tore the shit down. I think they're gonna have another match, but like I said, I don't think that match. I think that's gonna be a tag team match, so that probably won't really be a wrestling match as much as that's gonna be a match to build story for WrestleMania between Charlotte and Ronda. But boy, just giving me more hope for that Bianca Belair. Bro, as soon as Bianca and Charlotte on the same show, just know that at some point in time, that is going to happen. As soon as they on the show, that's why I'm waiting for that next day. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania and the WWE draft. Like, boy, I'm telling you, like I'm waiting to sign $1 million contract with somebody. I'm telling you. That's the match. That is the match. Bianca, Charlotte. That is the match. Because here's the reality, in my opinion, and I hate to say this, there is not a wrestler in the WWE right now on Roman Reigns' level that realistically can beat Roman. It's two dudes who I think you could possibly get to Roman's level, but the way you had to book them would be you wouldn't be able to do it at the same time as far as putting. Well, you actually could, because the way they booked Bobby Lashley a couple years ago after he lost to Drew, they had him lose to Drew. He looked dominant in losing to Drew, but then he started to dominate his way back up. He won the U.S. title before he ever got back involved with it. He dominated that. Finally started to dominate until he couldn't dominate no more, until he couldn't dominate that low competition no more. And finally, you put him back into Drew, and now he looked like a worthy title champion. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder for Roman, because Roman's heights have far surpassed anything Drew has done. But, call me crazy, I look at Bobby as a more dominant champion than Drew. I look at Bobby as a more dominant wrestler, a more worthy competitor than Drew. For one, Bobby already done beat Roman. I know Roman was at a different place. He on God mode now, son. But there is a route to get Bobby Lashley to be as dominant and look as dominant as Roman Reigns. The other wrestler, now this one might shock you, but I realized this Friday when I was watching. Big E. Big E with New Day. For one, they don't even announce him as New Day no more. They announce him as the team consisting of Big E and Kofi Kingston, which is just fucking weird to me, considering, come on, bro. We know what we doing. We know y'all want to separate them basically to have that, and we know this is temporary, but come on now. Announce them as New Day. But I'm looking at Big E throughout this entire fight, and I just got this feel throughout the entirety of it, like, man, this is like Big Bro taking a break from, doing the big dog shit he do to come down and help Lil Bro. And Kofi is a champion, and I understand that, but Kofi is just a lovable dude who, and I'm not saying Kofi don't give off a champion vibe, but to me, he don't give off a vibe that could possibly beat Roman, realistically. To me, Big E, if you get back to building Big E right, Big E to me he give off a great vibe of a dude who could beat Roman and Bobby, and vice versa. All three of them to me could be the faces of this company. I think if you build Big E and Bobby correctly, they could get to the level of a Roman. To me, Charlotte, as big as people think Becky is, to me, the only realistic, and I understand Ronda for what she is, but I'm talking about just in WWE, not thinking about Ronda's outside appeal from UFC and whatnot. Charlotte, to me, because I know they're going to have Ronda go over. I expect Ronda's going to go over Charlotte at WrestleMania. But I don't care about that. I'm truly only focused on Charlotte Bianca. Now, I'm going to watch every single Charlotte match and whatnot. I'm going to watch all these women's matches and all the men's matches because I love wrestling. But, like I said, bro, the Bianca-Charlotte match is so firmly planted in my membrane. It's ridiculous. But I'm thinking, like, to me, when I'm looking at Charlotte, the only person on her level, and even though she's not on her level yet, she damn near close, is Bianca. That's the one. Like, yeah, I understand Bayley. Bayley is a GOAT. So is Sasha. And Sasha I would love to see another Sasha-Charlotte feud. And to me, see, I put Naomi just in the category under. See, here's how I do it. To me, it's Charlotte, next category. Sasha, Bayley, Becky, next category, Naomi. Now, this is what's interesting. Bianca, to me, you could put her in the Naomi category, and you could put her in the next category with Bex, Bayley, and Sasha. You could make an argument to put her in either one of them three. But to me, I feel like I have to create a category under Charlotte, above Bex, Bayley, and Sasha, because I truly believe that I truly believe Bianca Belair is the young GOAT. I truly believe that. Based off of how WWE has booked her so far, and I don't know if I'm seeing something that WWE is just not, like, if this is not the thing they trying to send off. But to me, Bianca is better than all the horsewomen except for Charlotte. And I know people for some reason think, oh, they just got to get Charlotte to look strong. Bro, Charlotte is just great. I don't know how y'all don't see what I am seeing, but to me, when I'm looking at Charlotte, the only person when I look at Charlotte at her best, and I think WWE gonna push her to the moon, the only person who they would give her, like, if they booked Charlotte the way they book Roman right now, to me, the only person who would come in and knock her off of that pedestal is Bianca. If built properly, not if they like shoot shit like Ronda or Goldberg. Like, Goldberg's not beating Roman, but you know how Goldberg came in and beat Brock? Like, that's not happening to Roman right now unless it's like The Rock coming in, which is crazy because The Rock is the dude who, if you bring him in right now, yeah, he's big enough to where he could take that title off of Roman. But you want to build somebody up that's in the company to have them. And one of the ways to build people up in the company is to have people like, to have matches like Charlotte and Naomi just had. Because no, Naomi did not win that match. But Naomi just had a fucking hell of a match. She didn't look like she just got her ass beat. She looked like she just took Charlotte to the limit. Those are the type of matches that build up wrestlers' resumes, that make them look great in the fans' eyes, that make them look great story-wise. You know what I'm saying? If you have wrestlers going out there getting their ass whooped all the time, constantly getting bamboozled and buffooned around and shit, you never truly can really think that they, like, I know you got the goofy fans out there that think that they favorite wrestlers should always win some of these matches. They don't really care too much about a story or think too much about a story wise, or they had a story in their head. The only way the story in their head makes sense is if they favorite wrestler win it. You never have legitimate champion contenders if you don't have these type of matches that Charlotte and Naomi had. So shout out to Charlotte and Naomi, bro. What a fucking match. What a fucking match. But the Super Bowl is just a couple hours away. We just a couple hours away, and I'm excited because I truly feel like Aaron Donald is about to get his first Super Bowl championship. And listen, I've been picking the Rams to win the Super Bowl, but I understand that there is avenues in which the Bengals can win this. Now, I do believe that the only avenue in which the Bengals can win this game is if they defense come out and absolutely play lights out. Because I do not believe that the Bengals are going to be able to put together 4 quarters of great offensive football for the simple fact the Rams defense is there. They might have a bad day overall, but they are going to have a great quarter. That's what I can almost guarantee you. The Rams are going to have a quarter in which all phases of their defense play lights out, which is the thing that people don't really talk about a lot, is how great, like, we talk about, and rightfully so, we talk about Aaron Donald, we talk about Jalen Ramsey. The Rams defense as a whole is a great defense. And so I believe that just looking at their defense, and, you know, I done said multiple times, the Bengals defense done played way better than people give them credit for. But this is going to be a game where they absolutely going to have to put together 4 great quarters, because it's something about Cooper Kupp. And I still don't think Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the NFL. But it's Cooper Kupp in this system just makes sense. It just works. It just works. And if you have to continue to find ways, mind you, the man keep finding ways to get open on double teams and shit, yo. Like, wide the fuck open. But if you continue to have to guard Cooper Kupp like that, and if I'm just going based off of Cooper Kupp's history, off of him winning these, now I do think the Rams going to have to start faster. The Rams cannot start as slow as they started against the 49ers, because the Burrows, Joe Burrow and this offense, they have the capability and the firepower to get it going early. And I think the recipe for success for the Bengals have to be the run game. Got to get those pass rushes slowed down. So Joe Mixon he's going to have a big game. I don't think this can be a game where the Bengals get off to a terrible start, get behind big, and then try to rely on a bunch of passing to get back in it, because the Bengals, because the Rams have a phenomenal pass rush. Like, I was looking at people talk about this earlier in the week. If you put Aaron Donald and Von Miller on the same side, that is too much for this Bengals offensive line already. And I don't want to, I used to be the person who was like, man, I don't really want to hammer home how bad this line is, because they might play great. But people hammered home how bad the Chiefs' offensive line was going into that Super Bowl against the Bucks. And the motherfuckers played terrible in the Super Bowl also. So it's hard for me to not think Aaron Donald is going to have a day. I truly believe Aaron Donald is going to have a fucking day. 4-sack day. I'm calling it. 4 sacks, Super Bowl MVP. Gonna make a couple stops in the backfield on Joe Mixon. And I truly believe that matchup between Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey. Jamar Chase done giving me every reason to believe he'll win this matchup. He done dominated every single one of his matchups. I saw Marlon Humphrey talk about how he done got about 6 questions this week about how he got burnt by Jamar Chase. I just don't think Jalen Ramsey. I've talked about it all season. To me, Jalen Ramsey is so much better than the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th best cornerback in the league that it's not fair to think about how Jamar Chase played against a top 2, 3, 4, 5 cornerback and then compare it to what he might do or what he could possibly do against against Jalen Ramsey. Because Jalen Ramsey is so far and away the best cornerback in the game right now. Like, to me, there's nobody on his level as far as cornerbacks right now. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. Not to mention, the Rams are a more sophisticated defense as far as like their play calling. They're not going to have him playing Jamar Chase the entirety of the game unless Jamar Chase go nuts in the first quarter. I don't expect Jamar Chase to put up mad numbers, but if Jamar Chase get 4 or 5 catches in the first quarter to get a touchdown drive going early, then yeah, they'll possibly put Jalen Ramsey on him early to shut him down and to put him to bed early. But if they go with the game plan that I think they're going to go with, having people double him and just having J-Ram take out everybody else, then they're going to use him in a more sophisticated way. They'll pick their spots when they want to use him. If they leading for most of this game, you get a drive going eventually, then yeah, maybe we put him on him. But that's not going to be something they do the entire. I know people out there thinking to themselves, oh, he going to guard him the entire game. No, that's just not smart to have him playing him the entire game. Other dudes get paid too. So you expect and you would hope other dudes would do their job too. Now, I'm excited for this. Matthew Stafford, like I done said multiple times, Matthew Stafford got so much to gain in my mind from me personally. And I know people think, who the fuck are you? That's a great question. It's a great question. Listen, Matthew Stafford get this Super Bowl and he ball out in this Super Bowl. I'm telling you, I will never say another bad word about Matthew Stafford because there's so much at stake for Matthew Stafford. That man, if Matthew Stafford come out here and ball out and do his job, and mind you, they are at home. They are in SoFi. LA is playing at home. They got a chance to do what the Bucks did last year and win the Super Bowl on their own home turf. The routine the same, the schedule the same. You do everything you do except for, today, the Super Bowl. If Matthew Stafford come out here and do this, for one, it reroutes his entire career. Now, I'm not saying this make him a top 5 quarterback all time, top 10 quarterback, but it do reroute his career from draft bust or draft fail, not quite accomplish his potential, the stench of Detroit all over him. Well, this completely rerouted. For one, he's gonna walk into the Hall of Fame now if he win this game, because now all of those stats matter. And for one, if he win the Super Bowl and he play a good 4 or 5 more years, we won't even remember the Detroit years. Now, I'm gonna just tell you right now, he win the Super Bowl, I'm not gonna remember the Detroit years anyways, because I'm just gonna remember him as the guy who got Aaron Donald a Super Bowl, who got OBJ a Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying that in the sense that he got them the Super Bowl. He did his part. This quarterback is the most valuable part of a football team. He stepped up and played a game of games in order to help Aaron Donald to get a Super Bowl. Because do you know what a Super Bowl would do for Aaron Donald's career? Aaron Donald done accomplished everything there is to accomplish in a short amount of time. This man is a walking, living legend. If you can't understand what you're seeing from him like a hating-ass Skip Bayless, then I truly don't understand what you look for in a football player. If this man can get a Super Bowl, He already in the conversation with dudes like Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Lawrence Taylor. He get a Super Bowl? Bruh. I mean, I already watched. You know, and I always think about how people talk about the guys they got to watch growing up. Well, I got to watch Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Peyton Manning, Tom fucking Brady, Aaron fucking Donald. It don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that. You know what I'm saying? It don't get no better than Terrell Owens, Randy Moss. It don't get no better than that. My boy, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis. It don't get no better than that. Tom Brady, Aaron fucking Donald. Aaron Rodgers, can't forget A-Rod. Brett Favre, Julio Jones. Come on, man. Alohi Nada. Come on, man. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Come on, man. Hey, them old dudes hating right now. We watching some absolute monsters. So if Aaron Donald could get the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a close one. I don't think the Bengals are going to get blown out. Now, I do believe if the Bengals, it's one avenue in which the Bengals get blown out, because the Bengals are fighters, and that's what I like about the Bengals. You can say whatever you want to. The Bengals defense ain't that great. They make mistakes, blah, blah, blah. The Bengals fight to the end of the game. And when you're a team that continue to fight, when other teams seem to, take their foot off the gas, you can find yourself in some interesting situations, And so credit to the Bengals. That is a great aspect of that team where they fight very hard to the end of the whistle. Now, still not big on the head coach. Allowed to fail upwards. Atrocious record before he gets Joe Burrow. No improvement, no inclinations or no indications that he was improving that team before Joe Burrow came along. Joe Burrow came along. Okay, now we think he a great head coach. You think he a great head coach, not me. But hey, credit for him. He the one on the he the head coach leading the boat. So credit to him. However, if the Bengals come out here and allow the Rams to run the ball, if they let the Rams run for 4, 5, 6 yards a pop, yeah, it's going to be a long day. Because Sean McVay's offense is very tough to defend when they can run the ball. I'm telling you. And it feel like Sean McVay got a lot on the line. Can you imagine if Sean McVay loses the Super Bowl? Oh man, that'll be rough. It's going to be hard calling him a boy genius. With 2 Super Bowl losses in a lot of people's mind. Like, nobody will care that he got there. They just care that he got there and failed twice and was out-coached twice. That'll be a tough narrative to shake. Because it's tough to get to the Super Bowl. So you can't trust that you'll get back to one. And with this collection of talent, man, this would be rough for the Rams to lose. At home. At home. This would be an epic collapse. They'll never stop talking about this one. Skip Bayless hating ass to have a field day on Aaron Donald. That man could come out here and have 6 sacks, and if they lose the game, he'll torch them. And I want people to stop saying that, like, if the Rams get 9 sacks, it won't really matter because, Joe Burrow took 9 sacks against the Titans. Listen, the Titans did get 9 sacks, even though they do not have nobody on that team, on that defensive line or defensive linebacking core that's better than Aaron Donald or Von Miller or Leonard Floyd, in my opinion. But Ryan Tannehill gave them the ball 3 different times. And on the drive in which Ryan Tannehill and them boys was getting down there in field goal range to win the game, Tannehill happened to, guess what? Throw another interception to lose the game, basically. So this ain't. I'm confident Matthew Stafford won't pull a Ryan Tannehill. I'm confident he won't be as poor on offense as the Raiders were. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the Bengals haven't played their best game. It's gonna be tough for them to play their best game against us. I truly trust the Rams defense. And that's why I'm saying I haven't even really talked about the Rams offense. It's because I'm trust so much in the Rams defense. And I think that's the thing. Because if the Rams defense play the way I know they can play, and the Rams offense come to the party also and do their job, then I do think the Rams can win this game probably 31-14. I think that's the type of win they can have on Sunday. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Because I really want Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey to get these champions. And Vaughn. I really want these dudes to get their championships. Vaughn for him to be a second. But, oh, man, this is so fucking exciting, bro, seeing all these legendary black men, bro. So much black excellence in this Super Bowl. And then for Matthew Stafford to reroute his career. I know people saying, well, it's called reroute. No, I'm not saying rewrite. I'm saying reroute, as in the bus was going this way on his career. Now, whoop, it hit a swerve. I'm telling you, man, I like it. Coop gonna get that ring. Don't matter how I feel about him as being. I don't think Coop is a bad receiver either. I want to address that. I don't think he is the best receiver in the NFL, stats wise. Though it say he is. So I mean, hey, if you're a stats person, hey, I'm not arguing with that. I just don't think he's the best receiver in the NFL personally. I just think he, in a phenomenal system where he is used a great ton. And I hope they use the fuck out of him tomorrow. I hope Coop have the best game of his life tomorrow. He and OBJ. I don't care who do the work. This is one of them games where, bro, if you got to get Coop the fucking ball 20 damn times, hey, anything to win. This is the game. Anything to win it. Rams gotta get this dub. I was watching the FanDuel thing with Pat Mack. I will watch about near anything he hosts. He, AJ, Ty, Darius Leonard, the absolute perfect fucking cast. Perfect dudes to host the show. I'm telling you, they absolutely fucking killed it. Absolutely fucking killed it. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I didn't know what to expect. Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know what was about to go down. To be honest with you, I just knew I didn't even know what time it was supposed to be. I just knew that Pat said that they was gonna be on Saturday, so I was like, oh, I gotta watch that. And I know Pat and them boys is tired, but man, gotta give a shout out to Pat, what he willing to do for the fans. He and Ty is fucking hilarious. That Alexa Bliss, that shit was funny when they was trying to say her name was Alexa Kaufman. And he said, it looks like Alexa Bliss. Like, that shit was hilarious. AJ and Darius, the more comfortable they get with doing shit like this, and I think Pat is the perfect person because they love Pat, they around Pat know them, so they get more comfortable with Pat. The more comfortable they'll get with this, and the more talking and shit they'll eventually do. I hope they do make this an annual thing. I would actually watch this. It was like a no holds bar. They could curse. That shit was fun. I like that. Now, my only suggestion would be to get people up there who actually better at these games and who ain't gonna just be plumb drunk the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit ended up way better than I thought for the fact that a lot of these dudes was drunk out of their minds or high as hell, as far as the competitors, not the people called. Like, the analysts can be as high and drunk as they want to as long as they're not doing no absolute, moronic shit. Like, Darius Butler had a moment in there where Pat was like, what is Irish Spring? And Darius Butler was like, some trash soap. And then somebody in his ear must have been like, no, you can't shit on the soap. And Darius was like, nah, I'm just playing. Like, that shit was hilarious. And then it was at one point in time in the beginning where Darius had picked two black people early. He had picked Emmett and he had picked Anthony Anderson. And Pat was like, Darius, are you just picking black people? That shit was hilarious. Like, I would watch these motherfuckers do this shit every year. Like, these four motherfuckers are legendary. And shout out to Gump, Connor, and who my other man named Cowboy, COVID Cowboy, Diggs, and shout out Diggs. But those four, Darius, AJ, Pat, Ty, fucking legends, absolute fucking legends. Competition was lit. I'm trying to think, because none of the competition was really that bad. This dude Terrell Davis, man, This dude, I don't think. God bless him. The last competition was the best one though. The ping pong. I mean, beer pong. To with 3 just absolute green beans, bro. Just 3 perfect releases on the wop wop wop. Just shout out to T.O., one of the greatest receivers of all time. Top 3. I got him number 2. I never saw Jerry Rice, but I'm giving Jerry his respect by giving him number 1. But if I'm going off of just people that I've watched with my own 2 eyes, then Terrell Owens would be number 1. T.O. would be number 2. Randy Moss would be number 3. That shit just triggered some motherfuckers. You got T.O. and Julio over Randy Moss? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I like that shit, bro. FanDuel could take some notes and make that shit a little bit better. They could do some more lit competitions and shit like that. Maybe do it like a game show or something like that on this type. I don't know, but that shit was fire. That shit was fire. It had me laughing and all that type shit throughout the entire thing. And that's all that you're trying to do. That was supposed to be fun, and that's exactly what I had. Fun watching that shit. Actually had something to eat, blunt. I was like, yeah, this shit smooth. I'm like, this shit real smooth like this, eh? I like this. And it led me right into the UFC. So, with that, I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. The Super Bowl, it's almost here. Who y'all got? We're definitely going to be back to talk about it. This was a big fucking episode. I enjoyed myself. I recorded a couple episodes earlier, right? Not releasing none of them because I didn't really have no energy in the last one. I did the last one after being pissed off about some shit. You should never do. But first off, NBC. I heard about NBC not rejecting the Weed Maps ad for $7 million for 30 seconds. And yeah, listen, they free to do whatever the fuck they want to, but I guarantee you're gonna see alcohol ads everywhere. Just like you see the alcohol sponsorships in all these stadiums and shit. And so I just don't understand how we can have alcohol ads everywhere, but you rejecting weed ads. And I don't want to hear people say that, oh, well, you can't show weed map ads because some states don't have weed legalized. Well, motherfucking sports gambling not legalized in some states. And you're going to see multiple FanDuel, DraftKings, sports MGM, sports gambling. You're going to see all that type of shit on this weekend for the commercials for the Super Bowl. So I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. NBC a bunch of motherfucking hypocrites. But the way society is going now, bro, everybody smokes weed. The most sophisticated individuals smoke weed. And I don't understand how some of these motherfuckers can continue to swear that weed is so bad when they know it's not. But you got motherfuckers doing all types of other drugs and shit, thinking that shit cool. You got motherfuckers literally walking around smoking cigarettes, bro. Smoking cigarettes. And drunk driving killing more people a year than weed ever killed. But we showing alcohol commercials every time I'm watching turn on the TV. So it's crazy. And think about this. You selling alcohol in stadiums and people got to drive home. And you're not regulating who driving home when they're getting drunk at these stadiums and shit. So I just think that's absolutely crazy. But with that being said, you enjoy your Super Bowl parties, man. Hey, Valentine's Day is fucking Monday. I told y'all, man, y'all gotta let that hate in your hearts go for this day, man. This day, it's not that serious. Listen, Future just released the most fire fucking Valentine's Day toxic track. Valentine's the worst day. Got too many to please. This shit's fire. Some people out there not gonna like that track. But listen, man, if you ain't got nobody to vibe with on Valentine's Day, that's cool. Sleep it through. Work it through. It's not that big a deal. It's really not. I'm telling you. You don't got to go out there and do nothing drastic, do nothing crazy. You definitely don't have to go out there and rekindle a flame with an ex or something that was hella toxic and bad for you just because of this day. I promise you it's not that serious, alright? Love yourself and you'll be fine. I hope y'all have a absolutely dope motherfucking day, night, afternoon, whichever point in time you're watching this. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody to have a fucking dope day too. Dope day is just the motto, but it ain't just exclusive to that. If it's nighttime, tell somebody to have a dope night. Tell somebody to have a dope afternoon. Whatever fucking point in time you're watching this. You might be at work late night watching this. Tell somebody, turn to them, say, man, I hope you have a dope night, motherfucker. And you have a dope night too. Sign out.
Hey, right out. Got my niggas in the bag blowing white outs. We gon' bump this shit real deep into the night hours. Keep it 199, just ain't my style. Sing the time, staring out the window of the night route. They never ever understood for the most part. Hey, wonder how them niggas treated Mozart. Hey, did they try to put him on the Zoloft? Oh nah, I was penalized for being too alive. 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 I was